I guess Jermaine Burton's already a draft bust. I guess that's just what it is. And it really sucks because I don't think I've ever said that about a first-year rookie player. But apparently it is. Apparently, the fact is Jermaine Burton's a draft bust. So, he's not traveling with the team to Pittsburgh for tomorrow's game. And why is that the case? Because of a decision made by Zach Taylor. He's not hurt. He's not going through stuff. He's not any problems. Apparently, I guess it stems from the issue from forever now, where he has, discipline issues. And he can't, actually do stuff correctly without getting in trouble. So, we're now 3-4 months down the line. You're telling me, I understand the first couple weeks, okay? Guy comes out of, Alabama. He's a very stout receiver. He's doing good at Alabama. There's a lot of good talk about him. Maybe he's a little bit ego-driven, right? Because he was really good at Alabama. He was a third-round draft pick. Whatever, things happen, okay? I'm not going to say I agree with them, but sometimes players can be a little bit ego-driven and think that their crap doesn't stink because, that all they have accomplished. And I can understand that, okay? They're young kids. They're coming for the first time into really large amounts of money, and they want to be badasses, okay? I don't cuss on this channel, but I will use the A word for this because it does significantly describe the situation. I get it, right? I understand. I don't agree with it, right? Because that's not how I live my life. If I got into a large sum of money, it wouldn't change who I am. I would be exactly the same person. But at the end of the day, that's just how it is. Okay, and I get it. I'm not 21 years old either. I'm not 20 years old either. So I understand that it's sometimes hard for players to join an NFL, have a large sum of money, and then change their personality with they made the money from how they act. I get it. But at some point throughout the season, and I believe TJ Hawkinson, oh my lordy. TJ Houshmandzadeh, I believe, was supposed to be the mentor, I want to say, for Jermaine Burton. At some point throughout the season, teams, as a coach, as a GM, as a positional coach, I don't know if TJ Houshmandzadeh, again, was his mentor. I'm not sure. At some point in the season, though, someone has to sit this kid down and say, hey, how you're acting and how you're taking this is not correct, and you're going to be kicked off this team if you do not change your ways. At some point, someone has to sit the kid down. This isn't the first week or two into the season. We're talking about now 3 months into the season. This is a good period of time into the season. Someone has to do this, or else just kick him off the team. I mean, because maybe that's the only thing, in all sense purposes, that could fix the situation, is if you kick him off the freaking team. Again, I don't know the solution to this. But apparently, I guess this is just a thing. And it's been a thing. And now when the most important game of the season, with our quarterback, with our wide receiver T. Higgins, not with 100%, by the way, going into this game. He's going to play, but he's not 100%. We have no running back. And yet, we're not going with Jermaine Burton at all. And he hasn't been utilized throughout the whole entire season. If this is a fact, I don't know what to say other than the fact of trade him. You don't cut him, honestly, because of his rookie contract. It's going to be awful to cut. And also, it's just you get no value from him by cutting him. I look at a team like maybe Cleveland, in all honesty, or I don't know, Arizona. I feel like a team you could take advantage of and just trade him for his potential You're not going to trade him for him as a player, but you could trade him for his potential. Maybe get like a 4th or 5th round pick back in return. I know it's not the greatest, but listen, at the end of the day, if you can't, if you can't cage this beast and his personality and how he is, then you just got to cut your ties. I mean, it's not like this is like maybe a tiny issue. Apparently, this is a humongous issue, and Cincinnati cannot cage this beast. If that's the case, then just trade him. Trade him to a new team and move on. Excuse me, I don't know why my throat is dying. Just, cut your ties. Because I'm really honestly tired at this point. I really am. This is a thing that's been going on for 3 months now. And I don't know if this is a lack of, him understanding or him accepting this. Obviously, Mike Tomlin has dealt with receivers who are problems. Look at George Pickens. Look at Antonio Brown. Look at Hines Ward. You have wide receivers with big personalities and big issues. And again, the situation here, it seems like Zach Taylor cannot deal with it or cannot handle it. And maybe that's a shot at Zach Taylor in a way. I'm not making this video going at Zach Taylor, but maybe that is an issue. Like Mike Tomlin, being the coach he is, he's good at handling these personalities and handling these troublemakers and turning them in the correct orientation. Sometimes. I say sometimes because George Pickens is getting a little bit better, but Antonio Brown is still a nutcase. So, I don't know. What's the solution here? You trade him in the offseason for a 4th round pick. You trade him on potential, and you draft his replacement this year in the NFL draft. That's really the only option you have available at this moment in time. There's no other option you have. Like, if you can't play him, right, why put him on the active roster, 53-man roster? Why have him take over someone else's spot if you can't even play the guy? If you don't trust that you can play him, and clearly benching him, which you have done many times this season, doesn't actually fix the problem, then you might as well just, cut your ties and accept your L. That's kind of how I look at it at this moment in time. There's not much more you can do, really. Is just accept that it didn't work out, and, it is what it is. Because you're apparently not going to fix it. We're so late in the season, and we still have the same problems and issues. And I don't know if that's ever going to be fixed, but see you guys next one, though.